Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So in this video we're actually going to be building in the world of Willow Creek for my save file. So this is for my rebuild Willow Creek project. And this build is actually going to be for a pair of twins. So obviously siblings, two twins. They're both young adults and they actually live here together. So this build is actually in the kind of like cheaper area of Willow Creek. I don't actually remember the exact like neighborhood name for this part of Willow Creek. It's not something that I think I've ever really looked at. But basically it's kind of like the area in Willow Creek where all of the starter homes and, you know, the BFF household, so like Liberty Lee, Travis Scott and Summer Holiday, this is actually the neighborhood where they live. So yeah, we're actually building a little cute little suburban, not really starter obviously because it's quite expensive, but kind of just a cute little small-ish suburban home, and it's actually on a 20 by 15 lot. It's technically 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. I say technically because I actually turned one of the bedrooms into an office, and then the two like full bathrooms are both en suites for the 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then downstairs there's actually like a half bathroom that's, you know, obviously for guests, and it also has like all of the laundry stuff in that bathroom. But basically, before I get too caught up in telling you guys about the build, I will put a picture of the family that I have living here in my save file. So the 2 twins, Aisha and Malik Amin. I'm probably mispronouncing their names horribly right now, but I will put a picture of them up on the screen because I have created them already. These are the Sims that will be going in my save file, and because it's for my save file, I obviously did furnish the house according to, you know, their personalities and their skills and story and interests and, you know, all of that stuff. And obviously I also already set up all of that stuff for my save file, so I can talk a little bit about it, you know, a little bit later in the video. But yeah, so this is, like I said, a technically 3 bedroom, but I'm just gonna call it a 2 bedroom because only 2 of the rooms are actually bedrooms, and then the third one is, like I said, an office. But this is a 2 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. Both of the bedrooms upstairs, like I said, have their own en-suites. And then it's built on a 20 by 15 lot. So it's technically built on a kind of like starter lot. Originally, if you start like a new game, just a new base, you know, Sims game, this lot will, I think, have a starter home on it. But yeah, I've obviously built something that's definitely not a starter home. But yeah, you will see me kind of like look around a lot during the building of this, especially whilst I was doing the exterior, so like the roofing and landscaping especially. I spent a lot of time, not a lot of time, but I looked around quite a few times to take a look at the like surrounding area for like the landscaping and stuff, and also at the other houses that I've done in this neighborhood. Because I've already built all 4 of the other houses for this area of Willow Creek, and this is like obviously the last one. So I try to take inspiration from the other houses because I do want them all to look similar. I don't want them obviously to look like identical or anything like that, but I do want them to look similar. So I try to use, you know, similar wallpapers, obviously in different colors, but, you know, the same wallpapers and the same roofing and some of the same windows and stuff. I think I used different windows on this build than I have on like any of the other builds in this area, but I try to use, you know, like the same outside paneling and the same roof texture and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit more cohesive. And I also kind of went for the same roofing style as well, and, you know, just stuff like that, just to try and make, you know, all of the areas of Willow Creek and of my other worlds as well. I try to make all of the different, like, kind of sub-neighborhood areas in each world. I kind of try and make all of those look, you know, a little bit similar. Like, you know, a lot of the stuff that's built in them are from, you know, like the same style or like the same time period or something like that. So yeah, I tried to do that for this house as well. And the other houses in this neighborhood are actually another family house on a 20 by 15 lot. There's a really big family house to the left. Yeah, to the left of this lot. If you look at it from the front, obviously. To the left of it, there's like a really big family house for a big family. Then to the right, there's like at the end of the street, basically, there's another family house. Across from this house is actually where I have a starter home set up. I can't remember if I did that starter home on the channel, if it's like a video that I did, or if I just did it off camera before I like created my channel or something. I don't know. A lot of the builds in Willow Creek especially I did before I even had my YouTube channel, so I should probably go through at some point and kind of like just update them and, you know, add, you know, a lot of like the newest stuff that we have that we didn't have when I built them originally or something like that. But you know, that's a like job for another day, because yeah, that would take me forever. But yeah, so we have a little starter home in this like area of Willow Creek as well, like just an empty starter home. And then we obviously have the BFF household, whose house I actually renovated. I think I did this on the channel. I'm not sure. If I did, it will be in my like rebuild Willow Creek playlist that I'll leave linked on the screen in case you guys want to go ahead and check out any of my other Willow Creek builds. But if I didn't do it on, you know, the channel, then it will still be up on my gallery. You can find it by searching for my gallery ID, which is ChrissieYT, or searching for hashtag rebuild Willow Creek should also bring it up. You might just have to scroll a little bit. But yeah, those, you should be able to find all of my builds under my hashtag, like ChrissieYT, or just on my gallery page, which is ChrissieYT as well. All of that information is always in the description as well, by the way. But yeah, so we have the BFF household, which is actually just a renovation of their original house. I didn't rebuild their house, I just renovated it. Which, to be fair, I kind of don't really like. I really don't like their house still, even though I have redone it. I still don't really like it. Like I said, I did it years and years ago, and my building style has changed a lot since I did the majority of my Willow Creek builds. I mean, all of the builds that I did before I had my YouTube channel, I kind of want to go through and completely redo them at some point. But like I said, that's a job for another day, because yeah, there's a lot of them, and it would make it... It would take me forever, and it would just delay the process of me actually getting my first version of my save file out, which is, yeah, something I don't want to do right now. So maybe in the future I will go back and like redo some of the houses. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So this house, 20 by 15 lot, like I said, originally I actually had a renovation of the like EA base game lot. So the base game starter lot that used to be on this lot, I actually renovated it, and I had it set up for another sim. I had it set up for Valeria Bachelor, who's actually a sim that I created to be Bella Goth's and Michael Bachelor's sister. So canonically speaking, you know, in Sims canon, Bella Goth doesn't have a sister. She does have a brother, Michael Bachelor, who I actually have created. I don't think I've spoken about this on the channel yet, or like done a creator sim video of them or something. But I did create Michael Bachelor, and I created a family for him as well. So he has 2 daughters, and then he has a dead wife as well. So I kind of changed, you know, the Sims canon a tiny bit. But yeah, so we have Michael Bachelor, and then I also created Valeria Bachelor, who's kind of like an older... She's Bella's older sister. And she used to live on this lot, you know, single on her own. But then I moved her into a apartment with her best friend in San Myshuno. So the best friend's apartment that I did a couple of weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago by now, I will leave that linked on the screen in case you guys want to go ahead and check that out. Because yeah, I really like the way that apartment turned out. I had a lot of fun with that and playing around with platforms, all of that stuff. But basically, she used to live here, and when I obviously moved her to San Myshuno, this lot was open and empty, and I decided that instead of, you know, having another starter lot in this area of Willow Creek, I wanted to fill it with a family. So yeah, that's kind of where the Amin siblings came in. And yeah, I knew I wanted it to be for a pair of siblings. I knew I didn't want to make it for like a family or anything like that. I really wanted it to be for a pair of siblings. So I went into Create a Sim, created these sims, and I absolutely love them. At this point, it actually took me a while to create them. I didn't have a clear idea in my head of what, like, the kind of sims that I wanted them to be. So it took me a while to create them, but I actually really like the way they turned out, and I really like their style and like their story and personalities and stuff as well. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get on. But yeah, so this build is up on the gallery. Like I said, it's completely CC free because obviously I don't use any custom content for my save files, so there's no build CC in this whatsoever. The Sims are also up on the gallery and they're completely CC free as well, so only in-game items. Now, I didn't restrict my pack usage either for like either the build or the Sims because, as you guys know, I don't pack restrict my save file at all. That's just, for me, that's not the point of my save file. It's not supposed to be pack restricted. So I do just use, you know, whatever I feel like fits the Sims or fits the build or whatever. So yeah, it's just, I use a ton of different packs. But yeah, so this build is it's not really a starter home. It's not supposed to look super fancy or expensive. But it is about 128-ish thousand simoleons, so it's fairly expensive because yeah, it's quite, yeah, it's just I can't beat around the bush. It's quite expensive, but there's quite a few like really expensive appliances and TVs and stuff like that. So they have a nice TV in the living room. They also have a like really nice stereo and a couple of nice computers. And then Aisha actually has a TV in her bedroom as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of the decorations and stuff that I ended up using are a little bit more expensive. So you'll also notice that the furnishing style that I kind of went for is a mix of some more traditional furniture, like, you know, the counters and the cabinets in the kitchen, for example. And then a little bit more modern stuff as well, like, you know, the dining table, dining chairs. You'll see once we get to the living room, we have a little bit more of an older fireplace, but we have some more modern living room furniture. And then in the office, that's also downstairs, so that's the room downstairs. That office also has a mix of like modern and traditional stuff. So there's like older bookcases, an older looking desk, and there's even a like research computer thing that came from Discover University in that room. So yeah, that office is actually Malik's office. But yeah, the reason I went for a little bit of like a mixture of more traditional and more modern or like contemporary furniture, I used a lot of the like decorating pack. What's the pack's name? I can't think of it like off the top of my head right now. Dream Home Decorator, that's the word, that's the one. So yeah, I used a lot of the Dream Home Decorator items in this build, as well as a lot of stuff from Eco Lifestyle. I don't know why, I didn't really use that much from Eco Lifestyle. I just used a couple of the shelves, and then I used a lot of, like I said, Dream Home Decorator. I used quite a few things from Get Famous as well, and then a few things from Laundry Day, because I don't know, I just really thought it fit in well with all of like the color swatches and stuff. But anyway, the whole reason I went for a mix of modern and traditional is because I figured this house is actually a house that the twins have inherited from a family member. So in my head, they inherited this house from their aunt that maybe like recently passed away, and they've decided to move back to Willow Creek because, I don't know, maybe one or like both of the twins or something got a really nice, you know, I don't know, maybe they got some really nice career opportunities in Willow Creek, and they figured that, you know, their aunt recently left them this house. So instead of selling the house and, you know, living somewhere else, they decided to move into the house and kind of like make it their own, you know, as time goes on. So that's why, you know, they've added some more modern stuff, and they've brought kind of their own personal tastes into it as well. But yeah, they live here together, and, you know, usually you wouldn't think that grown siblings would like living together, you know, like living in the same house or whatever, but these two are actually really close. Not just because they're twins, but also because in my head, they're kind of the only close family that the other one has. So basically, like I said, you know, their aunt recently passed away, and maybe she was their last like close relative. So maybe they have like cousins, or, you know, yeah, like maybe like cousins or nieces or something. Yeah, probably not nieces, but like cousins or something in another world or whatever. But their last close family member was their aunt, because in my head, their parents maybe like passed away just as they started university. So they both went to Brightchester as well. Malik actually studied, I believe it was language and literature, and then I think Aisha, I gave her the fine arts degree, I think. But basically they both went to Brightchester. They lost their parents, you know, maybe just as they started university, and that kind of brought them together as well. So they're really, really close, and they like spending time together. And also, they're both very career-oriented. So Malik is actually a lawyer, and then Aisha is a stylist. So she's like a fashion, she's in the like fashion in style, I think it's fashion influencer or something. But basically, she's in the stylist branch of that career. And then in my head, she also really, really likes photography. So she has a really high photography skill, and you'll notice that once we get to her bedroom, she also has a ton of cameras everywhere, and she really likes photography. So that's kind of her hobby when like she's not working, and maybe she even does some like freelance fashion photography or something when she's not working. Obviously in The Sims, you can't have like a full-time job and a freelance job, because that would just be, I don't know why we can't, because it would make sense. That's very realistic. But yeah, in my head, she does freelance fashion photography as well. So yeah, she's really into like super creative stuff. She also has a digital sketch pad in her room. And then Malik, whose office we're working on currently, he's, like I said, a lawyer. So he spends a lot of time working. He's very ambitious. Both of the twins actually have the ambitious trait. So yeah, they're both very ambitious. Like I said, they're both very career oriented. And neither of them really want to settle down anytime soon. So neither of them really want to like start a family or get married or anything like that anytime soon. They kind of just want to focus on their careers and, you know, achieving those career goals that both of them have. So that's also why they don't really mind living together, because yeah, they don't really plan on starting a family or, you know, anything like that. They kind of just like having each other around, and they also like having someone to split like the household chores with and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of the story for the twins. So you'll also notice that the office, like I said, is just for Malik, but Aisha actually has a little like desk set up in the hallway upstairs. Now I haven't done it yet. I'll kind of fiddle around with the hallway. I'll finish the hallway, go outside, do the backyard, and then come back in and do their bedrooms. I hopped all over the place with this build. So yeah, I also cut out me doing all of the bathrooms as well, but you'll see all of them in the screenshots at the end. But yeah, so Malik, like I said, they all have their own ensuite bathrooms, both of the bedrooms, but Aisha actually has a bigger bathroom than Malik does, because in my head, you know, when they moved in, they decided, okay, he can take the office, but Aisha is taking the one with the bigger bathroom, because yeah, maybe that's kind of just something that they decided on when they moved in to make it a little bit more fair, because obviously now she doesn't have a dedicated like office or workspace. But yeah, so she actually has her desk in the hallway upstairs, and the way I did that was actually really cool. I didn't use an actual desk for her. I actually used I put a laptop on one of the one-tile desks that we have, and then I sized that like way down, so it's basically invisible, the desk. And then I actually moved it so that the laptop is sitting on top of a hallway like kind of like console table, one of the ones that came with Dream Home Decorator. I had to size that console table down a little bit to just make it fit, you know, precisely underneath the laptop, to make it the exact same height as a desk. But I did playtest that. You guys will see it once we get to it. I'm probably not doing a good job of explaining it, but you will see it once we get to it. And I did playtest it. I playtested the desk. I playtested this whole build as well, so they can get everywhere. They can cook, they can sleep in both of the beds, they can access all of the bathrooms and use everything. They can do laundry, they can, you know, do everything that you would expect them to be able to do. They can do it. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to mention. But yeah, so in Aisha's bedroom, we have obviously her bed. I also gave her a vanity table, because in my head, obviously she's really into fashion and design, and maybe she's really into makeup as well. So yeah, I gave her a vanity table. I also gave her her own TV in her room. And then Malik has, you know, bed, all of the normal stuff. His room is, I think, maybe like a little bit smaller than Aisha's. I think, just the way the layout turned out. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the way their bedrooms turned out and their bathrooms as well. I also tried to personalize their bathrooms as much as I could, you know, with their favorite colors. You'll notice that once we get to furnishing their bedrooms, I did pay attention to using, you know, the colors that I set as their favorite colors. So maybe you'll be able to see, you know, the color schemes going throughout their bedrooms. And yeah, here we're actually working on the desk setup that I was mentioning. So you should be able to see what I'm doing. I used a lot of the, wow, I can't speak. I used a lot of the tool mod for this. But obviously, you don't need to have the tool mod in your game if you want to download it. You don't, you know, I just used it, but you don't have to have it in your game to download any of my builds where I used it, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's basically this build, I think. I didn't put too many stuff in like the backyard because in my head, maybe they just moved in. They haven't really done much with the backyard, or maybe their aunt never did much with the backyard, so there's just a grill, a table. I also put a little meditation like pillow and a yoga mat outside because I do know that Aisha does enjoy some meditation and yoga and stuff like that. She's really into wellness. So yeah, I put those outside for her. Gave them like a telescope and something and stuff, and that's basically the backyard. I haven't done much with it. So yeah, feel free to modify it or add some like kid stuff or whatever if you play in this and you have like an actual family with kids, you know, living here and you want to like personalize it or whatever. Feel free to do that. Totally up to you. But yeah, so I think that's everything that I had to tell you guys about this build. I think, yeah, we're just going to be working on both of the bedrooms for the rest of this video, and that will basically be it. But yeah, like I said, I did set them up with, you know, obviously skills, careers, university degrees. I gave them likes and dislikes, and I actually furnished the house according to their likes and dislikes. So like their color, you know, their favorite colors I used throughout the house. I used their favorite colors in like their bedrooms and, you know, obviously their outfits and everything. So I had a lot of fun with these Sims and with this build. So I also wanted to mention that little like tray thing that I have on the bed. That's actually an end table. This is a trick that I saw. I believe it was Miss Sim Reno, or maybe Rachel Pet. I can't exactly remember whose speed build it was that I saw this in, because it was a while ago by now. But I saw it in either of their videos. Like I said, can't remember. And I believe they said they saw it from Julia Builds, if I'm remembering correctly. Either way, I will leave all three of those amazing Simmers channels linked below because they're all three amazing builders. But basically, that's one of the end tables from Dream Home Decorator that you size down like by one. And then you raise it up with the tool mod, balance it like completely on the bed, and then you can put stuff on it and it looks like a little like tray that's on the bed. The bed is completely functional. I play tested both sides of that bed. They both work. The tray or like end table isn't in the way of anything, so that's really cool. And it just added a nice little like detail to her room, kind of made it look like, you know, maybe Aisha was on her bed watching TV and like doing her nails or something like that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. Like I said, if you want to download it, it is up on the gallery. All of the download information is in the description, along with a download link to the online gallery website. And then obviously the tray files will be up on the community tab for my channel members. And yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to tell you guys. I also just want to mention really quickly that I am still running a giveaway for the high school pack. That giveaway is going until the 28th of July. I will leave the link to the video with all of the information on the screen and in the description. So definitely go ahead, check that out if you haven't entered yet and you want to stand a chance to win the high school years pack. Yeah, definitely go ahead, check that out. But I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But I hope you're all having a great day and a great week, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.
I think that I'm going to hiding. somewhere by a gated star. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me. I'm a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. Staring at the stars for hours, 'cause you're a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Yeah, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Oh, I won't let you down. Some gates never get to open 'cause it's too late. I could be the one who saves you from this place. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me.